It's been a while since I've done a shelf series video, especially from one of the main Skywalker Saga films. I believe the Force Awakens shelf series was like almost a year ago, so we're going to jump in with the Last Jedi shelf today, starting really quickly with Holdo. I'm not going to feature her too much. I think the dress looks terrible. Good face likeness though, but let's move right on to Admiral Akbar. If I'm correct, I think this figure actually came out before the Return of the Jedi Akbar, so obviously that was the more desired figure, so this was kind of a tease. A cool looking figure, and it's nice to see him in his Resistance look on the shelf. Of course, these older figures are a little bit trickier to pose. You know it's not a Landspeeder Luke video without some custom figures, so here we have a 9 This was painted for me by Frederick's Figures, and the body is a Rose Tico with a General Leia vest, I think. I showed this one off a lot, but I just love the little pop of red. There's a lot of red in the Last Jedi shelf, so get ready for that. Most notably with the Praetorian Guard. This is the SH Figuarts one. These figures are really amazing. You can find them pretty cheap. I think I got these for like under $30 each on eBay a few years ago and as part of a set. Really highly recommended if you like these character designs. I think that was one of the things about this film that everyone kind of liked, was the look of the Praetorian Guards. Next we have Hux from the Disney Parks First Order pack. I actually really like these packs that they do. It's usually a lot of repaints, but we were able to get the pitch right out in the line and updated Hux, stuff that wouldn't really come out in the main line. They still need to update that neck, but the updated face definitely looks pretty good. Next is the First Order Snowtrooper Officer. These are one of the First Order designs that I actually really like. I don't really like the standard First Order Trooper, but again, we're bringing in a pop of red onto the shelf here, which was a huge part of the marketing campaign from the film. All the posters were all just like white and red, and totally makes sense given the color palette of the film. There were a lot of SH Figuarts releases from the sequels, including this First Order Executioner. Definitely better articulation and accessory detail than we saw with the Black Series one. The Black Series First Order Troopers are notorious for having very poorly developed elbows where they can barely bend past like 45 degrees, it feels. This one you can see gets a lot better range at the elbows, so I have a lot of Figuarts Troopers from this era. I'm actually going to shift 9 down and move the First Order over here. I'm going to kind of have all the First Order baddies in the middle, just going to have the Resistance stuff on the left and the right. I'm going to continue the First Order area though with the Snowtrooper here. This is just a standard one. He comes with a cape, but I don't really like the way that the soft goods look. Since most of the Last Jedi figures came out before the face printing, I had my friend Tim slap some new eyes on this Rose Tico here, just kind of elevating the figure a bit. Definitely makes it look better. I think the body's actually sculpted really nicely. And I thought I had a DJ figure, but I use that so often for customs that I think I used one and just like have thought that I had one this whole time, and I didn't. Luckily, they're about $3 online. Another Figuarts Praetorian Guard here. Now this next figure might surprise you. It is actually one of the die-cast Elite Series like metal figures that they did. These are usually pretty awful figures. The face tech on all of them is terrible, but this one of Snoke actually looked pretty cool, and I like that he was a little bit taller and didn't have the soft goods that we saw on the Black Series one. And unless you're gonna have him in the throne, I think that this one looks nicer. I did do a brown wash on the clothes and a red wash on the face. And then we do have one more Praetorian Guard, also from Figuarts. They just are really unmatched in terms of articulation and accessories. And although I do love my Figuarts Captain Phasma, I'm going with the Black Series one here because of the scale and the battle damage on the face with her little eyeball popping through. Really cool little feature there with the face printing on just the eye. And then she is missing the staff. I think I bought this loose at Frank & Son for like $8, and so I need to go ahead and add the Figuarts staff here. If you're a newer collector or you focus more on just the Hasbro Black Series, you may not be familiar with the Mafex Star Wars figures. These are roughly the same scale. They're a little bit too big, but with the hexagon stands kind of being staggered, scale tends to blend together a little bit better. You can see it's absolutely loaded with accessories here. You have all the different variations of pauldron. This is just a really fun kit. Having that variation right out of the box is always really cool. I'm going to keep it pretty basic here and just go with the red pauldron, just bring in as much of that red as possible. And the thing with Mafex figures is they're really loose. Like you can see how all the joints are pretty loose, especially over time. They really tend to like loosen up and get a little floppy. And then you have the Black Series figures like this Jet Trooper, which are just so stiff. That's about as far as his elbows can bend. It's really, this was a dark time for action figures, but you know, all those innovations that we have now all had to kind of come from somewhere. I love this Maz Kanata figure. She's more featured in The Force Awakens, but you know, she is in this film, and I just thought it looked nice, especially with BB-8 here, just to like fill out that little corner of the shelf. Then we have this Poe Dameron that is actually just the Black Series figure right out of the box with a custom painted head by Tim's Toys, but the head is actually just the Black Series sculpt, and this really goes to show how amazing the sculpts can be, and it's usually just the paintwork that becomes a little bit too costly to do at scale. Next we have a custom that I actually did myself using the Poe Dameron body from the 2-pack and the Force Awakens Finn head, which Tim repainted for me just to make it look a little less wonky. But this is the outfit that we see Finn in the movie, and I just thought it looked pretty cool as a figure, and it was just a fun custom. For our heroes here, we're actually going to go with SH Figuarts again. They are kind of taking over the shelf here, but I think this Rey from The Last Jedi looks so nice. We did get a Rey with some face printing from The Last Jedi in a Disney 3-pack, but I don't think it compares to the SH Figuarts here. And also joining her will be SHF Kylo. Look how deep those butterfly joints go. I don't think I've ever seen a figure with such deep cut butterfly joints at the shoulders. Great likeness to Adam Driver, a lot better than what we saw in the Black Series. SH Figuarts put out a different Kylo Ren for each film, and they all look almost equally as good. Next we have a very special figure, which is the Last Jedi Leia by Tim's Toys. This is mostly hand sculpted, which is kind of crazy. The head is from a Black Series figure, just repainted. Also going to show how good the sculpts can be. She's just gonna sit right here though. I absolutely love this figure. This was one of the first ones I saw on Instagram from Tim, and it took me a few years, but I finally have it in the collection. Next we have Crate Luke from SH Figuarts. This is a great figure. I just saw him today on eBay for like 40 bucks. So like if you are hoping to have this in your Black Series collection, I don't think Black Series will ever make it. So this is a good alternative. The section on the right is looking a little bit too black and white, so let's add a little pop of color here with Elo Asti. Love this sculpt. It's actually different than the Poe Dameron body. I thought these would kind of be the same, but the body is actually different, and then we've got that special helmet that fits over his head. We're gonna keep that helmet on, just put him over here on the right, kind of adding some more resistance stuff over here. Although we do have BB-9E, I was so happy to see that this existed in figure form. This is also from Figuarts. I got it for like 15 bucks once at Frank & Son. So that finishes our Last Jedi shelf series. So now we only have one movie left in the Skywalker saga before we start all over again at the beginning with the Phantom Menace, and hopefully by the time we wrap it back around to that, those new Phantom Menace figures that have been revealed will be released, and hopefully we'll even have some more that we haven't even seen revealed yet. I've also got a lot of new customs that need to go on that shelf. If you did enjoy this video, please give a like. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you would like to see more content like this. I usually don't focus on the sequels, don't worry. I know a lot of people have different opinions about this film, especially, as well as the sequel trilogy as a whole. I think the passion that went into the toys of this era is really cool to see. People were still really hyped coming out of The Force Awakens and Rogue One. So there's just something kind of joyful about this era of being a Star Wars fan and collecting as well. So much cool stuff came out around this time. This is like pretty roughly when I started collecting, and so I really didn't know about most of these figures until, you know, during like 2020 and onward. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if I forgot any figures, because I probably did. As always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.